True peace to the gods. This is brother Lawiy-Zodok Shamu, aka Nabuhu Unu Nupu. This is New Unified Temple Vlog 1. In accordance with the New Ethiopian Order and the Noon Project and a couple other things. Well, not a couple, but a lot of other things that we got going on. But I pretty much wanted to address a lot of stuff that's going on in the esoteric community as well as the exoteric, dealing with the conscious community, the intellectual community, the sovereign community or the sovereign movement or anything like that, and all the stuff that's pretty much been going on. It's a lot of Haywood and Muck and Maya, digging for the truth and who's actually real and who's not. Not to say for me per se, but I know for a lot of people that's just getting on the path or that's been on the path and they didn't hit a roadblock or hit a wall in the maze and they scratching their head like what's going on out here, like all this beef, all this back and forth, and there's people getting into it. The death situation, and this is not just going on amongst people who consider themselves to be poor or middle class, whatever have you. This is also going on with people. They can see this going on in their own lives, whether they have abundance of money or not. Because just because a person has an abundance of money doesn't mean that they're actually wealthy. True wealth is in here and in here. And also, not trying to bust nobody's bubble, but all Federal Reserve notes, debit notes, anything of that nature, that's all in the negative and it's all illusionary based off our energy and the credit system. Just thought people should know that because what's pretty much going on is we're being divided and conquered based off of something that really doesn't exist. And we're wondering why we're having all these problems, whether it's esoteric or exoteric, public or private, and especially within our communities that are supposed to be, actually giving up information of the spiritual nature, the conscious nature, or the soul, whatever have you be it, and why there's not and from the outside looking in, why there's not an actual conglomerate or congealed community, where there's land and actual economics within that community or land and stuff like that going on, is because people are dealing with, in some way, in some form or shape, dealing with trying to get out of the matrix or the system, and it's pretty much like a virus that didn't plague the whole world, the currency. And like I said, it's not really even currency. It's not really anything that makes you vibrate at a higher frequency. And for those that got, this law of attraction thing flipped in their head from one side of the coin, that's just not the whole complete picture of what's going on, It's always two sides to a picture, especially when you're dealing with frames and stuff of that nature. I don't know how many of y'all out there know about actually editing film, but it's a lot that go in actual imagery and stuff like that, and lights, especially with the lights and things of that nature. But things are being made to look one way and they're not this way, and we've been dealing with that from a lot of people. And then you got people that try to speak out and then something end up happening to them, and they pretty much cut the head off and the roaches scatter pretty much. And this has happened to a lot of the African American, Moorish, indigenous, whatever type, melanated type movements, melanated Nubian movements or communities. Even going all the way back to Elijah Muhammad, he had his problems with Malcolm X. It's just been a lot of stuff pretty much we've been dealing with as a people, and we not really looking at the bigger picture and seeing the whole thing from a macro scale. We're always looking at it from a micro and pointing at the next microchip, and they ain't got nothing to do with it. It's all eternal reflection. And we are our own worst enemies, and this is what people are failing to realize. And this is why we can't really get nothing done, whether it's financial, whether it's spiritual, agricultural, just coming together to get some land. That's really simply hard. And if you got land, you got people that try to hide it and not, tell nobody, which is, you can't really blame them, because if a person had $1 million, and you especially dealing with niggas, not nigger, but nagas, or Negroes, really, I should say, niggas that still need to grow. You tell somebody you got money, then it's like, people get hungry and, they want a piece of the pie too. And really, that's not a bad thing at the same time if you're thinking in an abundant state. But at the same time, this person, that's looking at you with envy or, whatever it may be, some type of jealousy, they're not in the right mind state themselves. So you could understand why a person wouldn't just be open to share their wealth with the next person, especially a person of their own kind, if every day you fighting against them and you pretty much is like crabs in a bucket. You gotta, wrestle just to get on top of them or get above in the totem pole, and somebody else's hierarchy, which is not really hierarchy, but somebody else's anarchy, and get to where you need to get just to be successful. This is really, a travesty amongst us all, because it ends up putting us in a every man's for theyself zone, which at the same time is also, self-preservation. That's a law of nature. But at the same time, which also is another law of nature, is the law of blood and, kindred, pretty much, or your bloodline, or yourself and kind. Self-preservation, but self also includes your kind, those that are like you or part of the same organism as you. And we, as a people, we failing to realize that, this crab in a bucket thing is not going to work. Being an enemy of somebody else's country, and they look at all of us as like terrorists, in a way, in a commercial aspect, not to say physically, but or like you're not pretty much for their cause. It's like, okay, you should see the bigger picture. You should step back and see the bigger picture. There's something more to what's going on. And, pretty much you're going to have to become like Neo in the Matrix, because, the Matrix is pretty much all around you. It's everywhere you go. People are plugged into the, American dollar financial system. And it's like there's no way out of it. Even through the sovereign movements and the sovereign, not the sovereign citizens, we know that doesn't work. But the sovereign movements, it's like, you got gatekeepers that want to give out certain information to certain people, and they don't want you to give it out to the rest of your people. Then you do a remedy, they shut down the remedy and only allow for certain chosen few to actually complete the remedy or get away, because a lot of the stuff that most people do in the sovereign movement that they think is legal, if you actually look it up, it's actually illegal. Even though the people on the other side of the coin is doing it, it's like, oh, okay, it's a battle between words. And Jordan Maxwell himself stated in one of his lectures I heard before that you need to study words, and we as a people haven't done that, because when you read together, you succeed together. And they say if you don't want a black person to know anything, put it in a book right under your nose, right? So that's pretty much what's been going on. We've been duped and H.I.M abiff pretty much, and we're not getting or seeing the bigger picture here. or not even able to have the skills to interpret what's really going on. We're going off of somebody else's explanation of what this or what that is, and they themselves are probably not even really successful, or haven't even practiced it themselves and mastered it and made it an actual solid thing that can be replicated, not just duplicated. Because especially if it could be replicated amongst us as a whole, it would already been done already. Or if it is replicatable, they pretty much try to stop it, with a quickness, or put it to a quick halt. And most people never end up hearing about it because they put it in the vault and lock it away and throw away the key. So, this is why I'm touching on the things that I'm touching on, and there's a lot more I can touch on, but that's what other vlogs and blogs are for, which I will be doing and speaking a lot more and touching on a lot more things that's going on out here. If you got questions, if it's something that you want to know, present your claim to the table. I'll accept it for value and consideration. And if there's any way that I can actually, further inform you and take you further on your travels, I'll be happy to do so. I'm studying every day. I don't know it all. Like I said, I'm not a know. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but like I like to say to people that actually know me personally, but I'm not a know-it-all. And if a wise man knows anything, he knows nothing at all. So yeah, I think I did say that earlier, but but we all traveling and we all still learning, and it's a learning experience. And I've been on this journey for a good minute, and the people that mentoring me, and people that are my elders, they have been on a journey themselves for a good minute, and I like to involve myself with successful people. This is why I'm working on the things I'm working on, as far as New Wealth Network and Nubian Unified Nations, All Nubians Unite. If you want an application for the All Nubians Unite, you can go, join that organization and become a member at All Nubians Unite ALLUNITE.org, and send in your application, and also the Nubian Unified Nations, so we can get these type of issues out in the open, because people are not talking to each other. It's pretty much like snakes in a barrel, like I said, every man for themselves, and we're not using the positive side of what you would call the serpent nature. The scripture says, be gentle as a dove and wise as a serpent. But we're not using this wisdom for actual understanding and or overstanding, to get an understanding of things, and how the inner workings of life work, and us coming together as a unified front, us as a whole, us as a total, so we can make things happen, and actually see the changes we would like to see in our lives, especially the changes people would like to see in the spiritual community and what's going on with them in the conscious community. Because a lot of these people, I'm going to say people, brothers and sisters within the community, they have a lot of stuff that's, that'll be helpful to us and has been helpful to us in our movement. But it's still like we're operating only from a stance of commercialism. And the whole unified thing is now just become entertainment, and it's commercialized. It's not actually a real, genuine, organic thing. It's pretty much like an android or some type of computer robot controlled thing, and people, at the press of a button, jump, and it's all this fighting and debating amongst each other. If you're debating and you're not benefiting off of it, then you're pretty much two stupid people arguing. And us and our legacy and our heritage, which I know but still, those that are of the so-called elite class of nature, shouldn't be no reason for debate, and only get let's get the work done. And especially if you look at the term probate and debate, when you're on probation, there's somebody benefiting off of your your term, the term that you spend, the time and the term that you spend while on probation, and you got to pay, right? So it's, there you have it. It's some type of capitalization or some type of profit that needs to be going on based off of your time, because in today's world that we living in, time is money, right? And I'm not the richest. I'm not even rich. I now have no money at all. I'm starting from the ground up, um, with with my with my own brand, and really I don't like to say mine, but our brand called the New Wealth Network, and other things that we got going, and also trying to help get the Noon Project started, create communities, and mentor people, whatever have you, teach them about the law, or really guide them about the law, because nature is the teacher. But guide them through the law, and certain things that they should look for, and things that should stick out, key things, because being humble opens doors. And me, I don't mind humbling myself to learn from anybody and everybody, even a baby. What's really been hindering us, though, I will say, is the people that are egotistical, trying to get fame, and just want to be the star of the show, the leader, the master of people, and pretty much control people like robots, or have people be their subjects, which we are not subjects, only only in subjection to nature. But you really should be subject to no one when you have full power to do what you want to do, or you have your own willpower, given to you by nature. And pretty much people trying to steal other people's energy, shine, which that's going on a lot in the esoteric community, in our conscious community, because there's really nobody creating a pool of finances for us to actually get some economical things done, some agricultural things done. And even far as creating a open forum for us to actually communicate about things of legal nature, or things of legal nature, or policy codes and statutes, and the laws in our land, laws of our country, or even a corporation that of America that we are under, and how to follow policy the correct way to get what you want, and to be able to live the way you want to live, and be successful at what you want to be successful. And it pretty much goes to say there's no more role models, but there's still some around. It's just it's becoming like how it was in our ancient times, where we had what's called mystery schools, and you pretty much got to go look for the guru and find him, and hope he don't charge you an arm, arm, and a leg, right? Especially in today's time, where everybody's either using somebody's information to do what they got to get done, and there's pretty much very scarce. It's very scarce. It's very rare to see some originality, and this is what me myself, I seek for people that are original nature. I mean, that have originality in their nature, and I mean, not to say you can't borrow anything from anybody, because especially with art. I can't remember who said. I think it's Picasso, but some. Or Beethoven, I think, said the best things are done. The best artwork is pretty much stolen. I can't remember the actual quote verbatim, but something like that. But pretty much, the originality in doing things, or that real genuine spirit and soul that wants to actually, become successful and help other people become successful and be leaders of their community, male and female, and instead of creating all this gender war and egotistical, the man created the woman created the man, all this back and forth stuff about which scripture is correct, which one is not. If you really want to know the actual scriptures and stuff like that, you got to go within. You either go within, or you're gonna go without. And a lot of people choose to go without exoterically because they choose not to go in esoterically and do their own traveling, get their own, proper interpretation, and not just some explanation from somebody else. Because first thing about universal law, everything starts with an ideal. So with that being said, 1 + 1 = 2. In the words of a mentor, somebody I consider as a mentor, not a personal mentor, but just I consider them as a mentor, said nobody goes to war over a math problem. And that's pretty much true. 2 + 2 = 4. Why are you going to fight over that? 2 × 2 = 4. It is what it is. You either stand for something or you stand for nothing. And I don't think you want to be amongst those who stand for nothing, well, no matter what race or color they is. And we got to understand, as a people, we're not facing a racial, ethnicity, or whatever problem. This is for all humanity that's going through these things that we're going through and dealing with. This is the whole planet abroad. This is pretty much, I don't know how many out there listen to Alex Jones, but his website been up for the longest, and this is a prison planet. We're in a depth prison, and if you look at the word depth and do the correspondence, there you have it. Pretty much people are in debt, and like I said earlier, the money is a debt note. So you put 2 and 2 together, and you get your own interpretation of it, which it still remains, it is what it is. There's a lot of truth that needs to be given out in its proper way and format, and there's a lot of people that has it and are holding on to it and selling it, and they really shouldn't be doing that, because information is free. Knowing what we're dealing with, we're in an information war pretty much, or the age of information, and this is the time to live in abundance, especially learning how to live a better life and become wealthy. So, truth is truth. Truth doesn't belong to anybody. So who are you to sell it to the next person? If you're gonna do anything that's worth of trade, or sell, or anything that's of interest, that should be given for consideration, is your time. The time that you put in to teach the next person. Teach somebody. Become a mentor. Become a leader. Just don't badger somebody and beat them down because they not doing what you don't want. They not doing what you want them to do. Mentor the person. Solutions, not more problems. It's simple. Houston, we have a problem? No. Houston, we have a solution. It's real simple. It's just a change of the construct of the mind and the mental pattern that people have been pretty much programmed into. And it's not no one's fault. And they shouldn't really sit and and dwell on and play the blame game and act like a victim. Everything is pretty much we should stand up and take responsibility for, whether it's your fault or whether it's not. You have to learn to apologize about things that you probably haven't, say sorry for things that you probably haven't even done. Like my spiritual guide, tells me, you're gonna have to move a rock that can't be moved, and it's pretty much true. Once you learn how to be more humble and not, be more virtuous. I won't say patient, because patience is for sick people, and I'm pretty sure anyone that's listening to this in their right mind, they're not sick. So there you have it. But I'll be doing more blogs, especially about things of the spiritual nature, conscious nature. I mean, the conscious mind, or conscious awareness, stuff like that. And speaking out and mentoring people who ever want to be mentored, and spiritually guided, and just to help point out things that you need to be aware of and actually apply. Things that actually work. That you can add to your arsenal and your repertoire. So contact me at Lawiy-Zodok at live.com. You can find me on Facebook at Lawiy-Zodok Shamuel. I'll pretty much be happy to respond to your message or post on my wall, whatever have you, or comment on the video. There's gonna be more coming, more vlogs, more dialogue to be given, and I'm not just gonna run people, at the mouth. I really don't like doing that. I'm more of a secluded person myself and an introvert. That's not to say I'm totally introverted, but I'm more of an introvert by preference. So like I said, contact me. I'll be happy to get back with you, get back with you. And if you want to know about more things that I got going on or we got going on as far as with the Noon Project, getting the new unified temple going, becoming a member of the New Ethiopian Order, and also New Ethiopian Masonic Order, New Wealth Network, which you can earn residual income doing, mentoring others on how to become financially free, or if they just want to become healthy or whatever, because health is wealth, and that's pretty much what we're doing, showing people that that by you being healthy, you can earn a residual income, also doing that and become wealthy, like any guru teaches you, or not guru, but any person that has any type of success financially, like they talk about all the time. If you watch any of their lectures or things of that nature, that's pretty much it. All I want to say. I'll be back, pretty soon. If there's not any questions and anybody that wants to harass my page or do whatever, which I accept all your right now, I accept all your claims with consideration of proof of claim. So talk to me. I talk back. True peace. Hadusa Shub. Divine love to everyone.